This is the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Veloce. Veloce means fast in Italian, so today I'm going to test this Stelvio, see if it's fast. We're going to talk about the exterior design, the interior, we're going to test the acceleration, the fuel economy. Welcome to Torq Media. Under the hood of this Stelvio Veloce, we can find a 4-cylinder 2-liter turbo. This is good for 280 horsepower, 306 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is matched to 8-speed automatic transmission. So I'm going to go on the road and test this Veloce. It doesn't sound really Veloce with a 4-cylinder under the hood, but well, we're going to test it. All right, I'm going to test the acceleration with the Stelvio Veloce. We've got the mode selector, the DNA button. I'm going to put it in D. And we got to launch this thing. There you go. You can do the 0 to 100 kilometers in about 6.1 seconds and the quarter mile in 14.5. Not really quick. You really need to rev it up to, squeeze out some torque of that little engine. From my point of view, doesn't feel really Veloce. All right, on the road with the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Veloce. Before I'm giving you my driving impression of this Veloce edition, first of all, let's talk about this Veloce edition. What it is exactly, it's one of the top of the line, trim level. You can get the Stelvio without stepping in the top tier Quadrifoglio high performance model. So the Veloce, it's kind of like an M package without being a real M at BMW, or an AMG package without being an AMG. You know what I mean? So it's got all the components to look fast without being actually the big monster with the big engine. That's the point this week. But still, we're missing some stuff here with this Veloce edition. It looks fast outside and inside, but it's not actually fast. It's not really fun to drive. It doesn't have like a great sound. When we go on the website, there's an option, you can listen to the engine. Listen to that exhaust note, guys. Let me know what you think. There you go. It doesn't sound like much from my point of view. It doesn't have that magical Italian, recipe from my point of view. I think it's just lacking like a good engine under the hood, not like a fully boosted 4-cylinder, turbo. It needs like a V6 or something like that. Not a ton of power. You really have to rev it up in the RPM band to squeeze out the horsepower and torque. On a daily basis, when you're just on a normal mode and you just floor it, it's not that quick. It's okay. Once it's at high RPM, it's okay. We're not inside of a hot hatch. We're inside of an SUV. So we need a little bit more torque. The gearing needs to be a little more different. It's not something I'm gonna bring to the track and keep it in gear and keep it in high RPM. It's something I'm gonna drive on the road. And this type of driving, it's probably good for a Giulia or a Maserati or something like that. But for an SUV, it's kind of weird. But driving the Stelvio Veloce, it's kind of fun, handling-wise. It's got a pretty good, sweet spot between comfort and aggressive handling. It's pretty sharp when you push it down the curve. At least we've got that. It's not the most comfortable, it's more on the sport side than comfortable side. For an SUV on a daily basis, it's not the best recipe from my point of view. But still, the steering wheel is pretty precise, pretty sharp. You can really push it, but still, it's not something I'm going to bring to the track. Exterior-wise, the Stelvio haven't changed much. in the past few years, so it's still the same. So now we've got the Veloce package. We've got bigger wheels. We've got the 20 inches dark wheel, really good looking wheel from my point of view. We've got the red calipers, and overall it's pretty much the good old Stelvio all around. You really have to dig, you know, that front end from my point of view. Not a big fan of those headlights with that, you know, triangle Alfa Romeo grille. I think it looks better on a car than an SUV from my point of view. In the back we've got a dual exhaust, and overall we've got a special color this week. This is called like something like Junior GT. It's a pretty pricey option. Do that paint, it's like 3 to 4 grand only for that special color. This is those kind of stuff reminds me a lot of the Maserati I drove earlier this summer. This is Italian stuff. They charge a big amount of money for a special color, but overall, you know, it's nothing really special for this Veloce. Stepping inside of this Stelvio Veloce, now we're like in some hardcore high performance SUV. We've got like a racing steering wheel with the starter on the steering wheel. We've got big paddle shifters. They're fixed to the column. It doesn't move. And, you know, this is like track stuff, the hardcore quadrifoglio stuff. We've got Italian like flags all around. Really sporty inside of this. Big RPM gauge. We've got also the sport seats with the Veloce package. So hardcore seats, you know, with some good support, with a nice finish in leather. This is all cool, you know. I really dig, you know, those finish, those looks and all that. It's just it doesn't match the performance of this Stelvio. You know, when I'm inside of this and I'm in a like tight bucket seat like that, a hardcore steering wheel like that, the paddle shifter are fixed, I feel like I'm having something like a 500 horsepower on the hood, maybe 600, maybe 1,000. I don't know. Maybe it's a V8 from Ferrari, but it's just a 4-cylinder turbo, just like any other SUVs on the road. This is kind of disappointing. Overall, you know, nice finish inside, but, you know, it's lacking if we compare it to the competition. Really, really small screen, old technology. The rear view cameras, the quality is not there. It's not easy to operate that system. It needs a new screen. It needs a Uconnect system with a bigger screen. You know, we're inside of a luxury SUV. We're inside of an Alfa Romeo who's competing against Porsches and mercedes-benz and BMW and stuff like that. We need more stuff than this. But the comfort of the seats, you know, a little bit too aggressive for the performance from my point of view. You know, when we're doing 0 to 100 kilometers over 6 seconds, I don't need all that support. I'm not gonna bring this SUV on the track. So probably, you know, yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, you feel inside like a performance machine, but still you don't need it. So I would make the sacrifice of those cool seats for a more comfortable seat from my point of view. If we step in the back, not a ton of space. It's a small SUV. This week with the kids, that was pretty tight, you know, back there. Also, when we tried to put our youngest one with her big seat, you know, we really had to push forward that front seat. So not super practical on that side. If we take a look at the trunk, normal size of trunk, not the most spacious one, but, you know, typical trunk for this size of SUV. Fuel economy wise, this week I was averaging 11.7 liters per 100 kilometers. It's not that great for the actual performance of this SUV. I was expecting a bit less, you know, probably on the fuel economy side. Maybe I need to play a little bit more with the DNA modes and put it more in the A mode. I've been trying that mode this week and it was really slow. It was not really enjoyable to put it in the A mode. So overall, you know, not that great. Price-wise, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Veloce starts at $67,990. The model I'm driving this week, it's good for $70,690 Canadian. Once again, pretty expensive, you know, for the performance, the fuel economy, the technology inside, the comfort and all that. It's pretty expensive. You're paying some pretty bucks for that Alfa Romeo logo, that Italian, you know, style and all that. This Alfa Romeo Stelvio is competing against, you know, big sellers at the German brands. I'm talking about the Audi Q5, the BMW X3, the Mercedes-Benz GLC, also the Porsche Macan. There's also the Jaguar F-Pace and all that. You know, hard competition, you know, on this side. All these products just on top of my head, you know, offer, you know, better fuel economy, better technology, better comfort, better design from my point of view. It's hard to compete against those SUVs from the German brands. You know, from my point of view, the Stelvio don't even follow this pack of SUVs. It's really behind this pack of SUVs. Just for a quick example, I drove the BMW X3 M40i. The M40i, it's pretty much like a Veloce, you know. It's not a real M who's gonna compete against the Quadrifoglio. It's kind of like the toned down sport version, but the X3M was such a good little SUV, offering everything: performance, fuel economy, comfort. It was practical. It was really quick, also way quicker than this Stelvio Veloce. Come on, Veloce! We're going on the highway. We need more Veloce. That's the point, you know. They need to do a sweet spot between the regular Stelvio and the Quadrifoglio, with probably another powertrain who's got a better sound, more power, more torque, just having that sweet spot, just like the BMW X3 M40i. This is what's missing from my point of view for the Alfa Romeo brand. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this Alfa Romeo Stelvio Veloce? Do you like this Stelvio as the Italian Alfa Romeo brand works for you? Do you think it's superior to the German brands? Or you're just like me and you need more Veloce? Come on, Veloce! Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and we're gonna see each other on the next review.